Great day, attractive thinkers. Dr. Toni Hatton here, your vision and mindset expert at www.theattractivethinker.guru. This is where we support new and aspiring entrepreneurs in mental strength, mental healing, and mindset maintenance. Welcome to your clarity experience. If you're here with us this evening, let us know in the comments section. Let me hear you say, think attractively. I'm so excited to be here with you this evening. We have a lot to cover. I want to share some information with you. If you were on my email list or if you're in my private Facebook group, then you saw my post today about unlearning. Unlearning is more powerful than learning. I want you to think about that, attractive thinker. We're going to give everybody a few minutes to get here. Again, Dr. Toni Hatton here, your vision and mindset expert at www.theattractivethinker.guru. Attractive thinkers, when it comes down to vision and mindset, the ability to see beyond, which having the courage to focus on what it is that you see until it manifests. That is extremely important because what you focus on, how you see a thing, determines everything. What you focus on becomes the strongest in your life. And I want you to be all here with us tonight. I'm so looking forward to collaborating with you, seeing your responses, hearing about what's working, what's not working. Tonight we'll be talking about unlearning being more powerful than learning. We learn all of the time. We're seeking information and resources, and we're reading books, and we're going to events, and we're collaborating with each other. We're learning all of the time. But what about unlearning? When we're learning and not unlearning, it's just like piling a lot of good things on top of a bad thing. And all you're doing is really suppressing it. And all those good information, all those good resources and, connections that you're making are not being fully manifested. You're not reaching your fullest potential. They're not being fully utilized because there are some underlying things that need to be unlearned and moved out of the way. So it's like removing the clutter, right? When we remove the clutter, think about it. When you're changing your room around, or let's say you're redecorating, you don't buy all new things and, place them right on top of what you already have. You have to sweep and you have to mop it down and put the new curtains up. And you might want to change the sheets and wash them, instead of putting new sheets on top of the old sheets. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, attractive thinker, when it comes down to unlearning the faulty beliefs. When you hear that word faulty beliefs, it's, faulty meaning, erroneous, not real, maybe even a lie. And then belief. When you hear the word belief, you're thinking about the truth, right? When you hear the word belief, you're assuming that you would be believing the truth. But what about a faulty belief? What is a faulty belief? I say, when I'm sharing, and coaching with my clients and helping them to really uproot some faulty beliefs and some obstacles and challenges that are in their way, I say faulty beliefs are lies that have been told over and over and over, lies that have been modeled over and over and over until it becomes your truth. Think about that, attractive thinker. I always say when someone of authority, be it a pastor, a parent, a teacher, an officer, somebody of authority that you encounter, on a regular basis, and they're saying this thing over and over and over, whether it's the truth or a lie, it becomes your truth. And a lot of times, throughout our lives, when we find ourselves stuck in different areas of our lives, 9 times out of 10, it's because of a faulty belief that we're believing as truth. So we have to begin to untie these beliefs, and I call it unlearning. We've learned a certain way, which produces a certain result in our lives, a certain behavior, certain habits, certain things that we do repetitively. We learned it from somewhere, right? And if it's not serving us, then we have to choose to untie that belief and assess it. Is it working for me or is it working against me? Is it supporting me and moving forward in my life, or is it sabotaging with the very thing that I desire to do with my life? Tonight we're talking about unlearning being more powerful than learning. Because you can learn a lot of things, reading books, going to workshops, learning 7 steps to this, 3 steps to that. But if you're learning that on top of the faulty beliefs, attractive thinker, here lies the struggle. This is where the starting and stopping comes in at. This is where the talking yourself into and out of the very thing that you desire comes in. You know, this is where you feel stuck and challenged and you hit a roadblock and an obstacle on your path to your dream because there's some unlearning that has to take place. It's actually working against you. It's showing up in everything. You know, you try to move forward and you hit a roadblock. And you're not sure what it is. You don't think you're believing a lie. You think your truths are your truths, right? But it could be a faulty belief, attractive thinker, and it calls for us assessing, you know, what is it that I'm believing about this particular area in my life? You know, is it true? Could I believe a different way? Could I believe a different? Is there another way of viewing this? Let's put it that way. Is there another way of looking at this particular situation? Unlearning faulty beliefs. So I'm going to, you know, review some of my notes with you tonight and some of the points that I wanted to share tonight, you know, in hopes to shine the light. That's what a vision expert does. I shine the light on your visions, dreams, and goals, on your path, you know, that journey that you're taking so that you can see it more clearly, because how you see a thing determines everything. And again, if that faulty belief is in play, you're viewing this journey with a faulty belief and, you know, with the perception of something that's not true, and you're gonna pursue it as such. You may have heard me on some of my other, you know, videos where I said there was a story in the Bible where Jesus was healing the blind man, and he said, "How do you see?" And he said, "I see men as trees." And if we see men as trees, we're going to treat them as such. You're going to treat a man as you would a tree. See, how you see a thing determines everything. How you see your visions, dreams, and goals determines how you're going to approach them. If you see them as hard, if you see them as a struggle, if you see them as difficult, and if you see them as denial, if you see them as hard, if you see them as suffering, if you see them as something that's going to cause you to suffer or something that's going to cause you not to feel good, you know, if you see them as something that's not going to benefit you, you're not going to move towards that. How you see what it is that you're pursuing. Think about that for a moment. I want you to get your vision and your dream and your goal in front of you. Whatever it is that you're working on right now, I want you to get that in your mind's eye. Think about that. And I want you to think about how you're seeing it. What is it that you see? And how do you see it? And how do you feel while you're looking at that? Do you feel excited? Do you feel, you know, a sense of anticipation? Are you, you know, overwhelmed? Do you feel frustrated? You know, do you feel resistance when you think about it? Do you feel like it's going to happen? Do you think it's possible, attractive thinker? All of that is important to pursuing what it is that you're going after, pursuing what it is that's in your heart. Because if you see it correctly, you'll pick up some momentum. Think about that. If you see it properly, attractive thinker. I see some attractive thinkers out there. Please post in the comment section and let me know that you are with us this evening. Thank you so much for joining us. I definitely would like to see who's out there with us this evening. If you see your vision, dream, and goal, attractive thinker, awesome. If you see your vision, your dream, and your goal as something that's going to move you forward, advance your life, support you in living, leaving, and creating, living, and leaving a legacy. If you see it as such, you're going to manifest that. You're not going to procrastinate. You're not going to drag your feet. You're not going to make excuses. Think about that, attractive thinker. If you view what you're pursuing with the right perception, it's just a given. It's going to happen. Think about that. Unlearning is more powerful than learning. What are we learning? You might say, well, you know, Dr. Toni, what is it that I need to unlearn? You know, I'm not sure what that is. So when we talk about unlearning, we talk about faulty beliefs. And I talked to you, you know, a minute ago about, these things that are spoken over our lives or modeled before us over and over and over, and they become our truth. These are some of the habits and the behaviors and the language, the communication, the self-talk. These are some of the things that take place in our lives that hold us back. They show up in so many subtle ways, and they hold us back. They keep us from reaching our goals. Think about that. So these are some of the things we have to unlearn. And you know what it calls for, attractive thinker? We have to sit down and we have to assess. We have to set aside some time just for us every single day, because we're valuable. We're worth it. Think about that. You're all that you have. You're incredible, attractive thinker. Everything that you need, everything that you desire is locked up inside of you. So instead of running around and having meetings with everyone else, make sure you have set aside some time to have some meetings with yourself daily, on a daily basis, so that you can unlock the treasure within. There is, attractive thinker, I know you've heard this before, but I want you to be all here this evening. I want you to hear it on a different level, because sometimes when you hear things over and over and over, it can desensitize you because you've heard it before. And one of the things that sometimes takes place is that you hear things over and over and over, and then if you don't see the manifestation of that in your life, you don't believe it. When you hear it again, you're like, the first thing you think is, you know what, I heard that before. And you don't believe it's going to happen. So, this is your defining moment. We get to define our own moments, meaning we get to decide, you know what, this time I'm going to be all here. You know what, this time I'm going to apply what I'm hearing. This time I'm going to look at this a different way. This time I'm going to take the opportunity to assess and see if I can look at this a different way, if I can believe a different belief, or if I can think a different thought, or if I can say something in a different way that's contrary to my negative self-chatter. Think about that. A lot of times we hear, I can't. What if for once in your life you said, I can? That very thing that you don't think that you can accomplish, what if just by courage and sheer determination and force, you open your mouth and say, I can? It might not feel congruent. It might not feel like you're in alignment. It might feel strange or eerie or weird, attractive thinker, but that's what happens in the process of change. Change doesn't feel good until you've processed it, until you've pursued it, until you've repeatedly moved in that particular direction with some consistent time, doing it consistently, not haphazardly, not hitting and missing, not here and there. After a while, that change, you have to press through that uneasy period, that uneasy season of change, right? Until it becomes comfortable. See, it's not going to be comfortable at first. But if this is a change in your life that you really want, attractive thinker, you're going to have to unlearn that process. When I think about this, let's apply the unlearning to the change. So we're changing, and sometimes when we hit that, uneasy feeling, we feel that resistance, we back away from the change. We don't pursue the change anymore. We drop and say, you know what, this feels uncomfortable. It's unfamiliar. I'm not used to it. I don't like the way I'm feeling. I don't feel good being stretched, and we don't pursue. We back away from the thing that we desire. But that's a learned behavior, and we can unlearn that, number one, by making a decision. See, a lot of times we think we're making progress when we begin to feel it. Oh, I have to feel it in order to do that or move in that direction. Sometimes, attractive thinker, you have to make a decision to move forward and let your feelings catch up with your decision. Think about that, because if you wait on the feeling before you make the decision, you may never get around to feeling like you need to feel in order to change. You may not ever get around to, because the decision is the thing that's going to pull you forward. You have to sit down and make a conscious decision. See, Making a decision is not something you just do haphazardly. You have to have the facts. You have to have, weigh the pros and the cons and the advantages and disadvantages in order for you to make a sound decision. You can't just say, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that without weighing the cost. And when I say cost, we're all going to encounter different costs in our lives when we take risk on ourselves and on our dream. But you have to sit down and say, assess your decision and see if this is the right decision to make. If this is the decision that I need to make that matches the goal that I have for my life. And when you do that, you get a piece of paper and you sit down and you look at it. You say, these are the advantages of me reaching this goal. These are the pros and the cons of me reaching this goal. And then you look at both, and you evaluate attractive thinking and you ask yourself, is this something that I really want in my life? I'm talking about the goal. I'm not talking about the process, because when we go through processes, every goal that we have has a process. And when we go through processes, we have a plan. We have some steps. We have some action steps that we're going to take. But one of the things that sometimes is impossible to factor in, and that's life. Because life is going to continue to happen. Life doesn't stop happening because you decided to get a life. So we can have a plan. We plan out, the steps in our action plan and the goals that we desire to reach for ourselves, And we have to leave room in the plan for life. Because if we do not, when we begin to pursue these goals and life shows up, we're going to back away. There's that resistance again. And we have to unlearn that. That's learned behavior, We have to unlearn that if we want something out of life, that means we have to step out of always wanting to be comfortable. We call it stepping out of the comfort zone. You may have heard before, like, get comfortable being uncomfortable. That's what that means. Everything that you desire, attractive thinker, is on the other side of the comfort zone. Meaning it's not where you are, because if it was, you'd have it. Everything, if you're desiring more, if you're desiring something else, then it's the else, that other thing that's not what you currently have. It's the other thing. And in order for us to access the other thing, we have to do something other than what we're doing in order to access that. Think about that, attractive thinker. So we're talking about tonight, unlearning being more powerful than learning. Think about what we can learn in the course of a day, and think about what we need to unlearn in order to make ourselves available to the new information. It's essential that we continue to grow and learn. But it's also essential that we untie and unlearn and, assess these beliefs that we have, because we could be believing in error, which is, not supporting us in getting where we want to be in life. Think about that. So when we talk about unlearning, what are we talking about? Things like putting everyone else's needs before yours. That may have been modeled before you, You take care of everyone else, and you're not even on the list. It's not take care of everyone else and then take care of yourself last. You're not even on the list. You do this and you do that. And you make sure this one has that, and you make sure that one has that. And you make sure this one is taken care of. You make sure they go here. You make sure they have their food and their shoes and their whatever it is, the mail, the message, the report, whatever it is. But where are you in the mix, attractive think? One of the things that I've learned is when we go about our day in life, we see everyone else, right? But you don't see yourself unless you look in the mirror. That's the only time you see yourself. Have you ever thought about that? The only time you see yourself, attractive thinkers, when you look in the mirror. So out of sight, out of mind. If you're not seeing yourself as often as you're seeing others, it can be kind of difficult to make provisions for yourself, to be mindful of yourself, to take care of yourself. Everyone else gets to see you, but you don't. Have you ever heard the phrase, you can't see your picture because you're in the frame? Think about that. And when you think about that, attractive thinker, and the truth that's in that, it compels us to make sure we don't forget about ourselves. We're talking about unlearning being more powerful than learning. Putting everyone else before ourselves. We have to unlearn that. That's not supporting us, right? So everyone else is more important than me, or everything else is more important than my health. Think about that. How often throughout the day do you focus on your health? See, we have to unlearn that behavior of self-neglect. We have to unlearn that because that's not serving us. It's not helping us reach our goals. And your health is your greatest wealth. Think about that. If you don't have your health, you can't do anything. Think about something as simple as a headache. When you have a headache, your head is aching, you can't multitask. You can't think a clear thought. You can't make a decision. You can't function, and run around and do what you have to do in the course of a day with a headache. So your health is your greatest wealth, meaning your health affects everything. When you're healthy, you can move about and you can accomplish and you can reach your goals and you can experience life and, you can add value to your life and others. But when you don't feel well, attractive thinker, everything stops. It's difficult to accomplish when you don't feel well. So focusing on your health, or not putting you first. We have to unlearn that behavior because you are a priority. You're number one in your life. I always say this to my clients, we can lose a lot of things in life, but if we've lost ourselves, we've lost everything. I want you to think about that. You might want to write that down in your attractive thinker notebook. We can lose a lot of things in life, but if we lose ourselves, we've lost everything. Great day, attractive thinkers. Please let me know, that you're here with us. I see some attractive thinkers coming in. Please post in the comments section, think attractively. One of the beliefs that we have to unlearn is I can't, or I'm not enough, or I don't know how this is going to happen, or maybe this is not for me. Think about that, attractive thinker. That's some behavior that needs to be unlearned. It's a belief that needs to be unlearned because it's self-sabotaging what it is that we're called to do with our lives. The mind has to be aligned. That's why I support attractive thinkers and thinking attractively and thinking more clearly and seeing beyond what they're looking at, because the mind is fragile and it has to be managed. Think of your mind as you would a little child. You know how much attention a child needs? A little baby, go all the way down to the infancy. How much attention does that baby need? A lot. So when you think about your mind, attractive thinker, I want you to think about a little infant, and that's the kind of care and nurture that we need to give our minds. We can't afford to neglect our minds. We can't afford to ignore our minds and let our minds just go at any moment of the day. Would you just let your baby just go? You're 1 or 2 year old. Would you just let their hand go in the middle of the street? You're walking down the sidewalk. Would you just let them go? We can't do that. We have to do the same thing with our minds. You have to direct your mind, watch your mind, talk to your mind, instruct your mind, what you want to accomplish. You are going to be with you for the rest of your life. Why not get to know you, attractive thinker? And discover the things that are in your mind that needs to be unlearned, the things that you're thinking, right? What about you don't have any money to do that, or no one will read your book, or you don't have anything to say, or no one wants to hear about your journey? All of those things need to be unlearned. They're not in alignment with the truth of who you are. And if we're trying to learn new information on top of this stuff that needs to be unlearned, we're self-sabotaging. We're learning new information and struggling to implement because we're not decluttering. We're packing in new information on top of the things that need to be unlearned. See, when you unlearn, you're making room for new information to be manifested in your life, for new information to take root in your life. Think about that, attractive thinker. It's too hard, or who are you to start a business? You know, nobody in your family's ever done that. What makes you think you can really be successful with this? All of these unlearned thoughts and behaviors that come up in our lives, you know, and they're real. And they really affect us, you know. It's very subtle. That's why you have to manage the mind. That's why you have to pay close attention, just like you do your infant, you know, that little child. You have to pay close attention because things are so subtle and they can pass us right on by. They can slip right on through because we're not paying attention. But those subtle things are so powerful. Those subtle things can really stop us in our tracks. And we wonder why. You're like, I have the information. I know what to do. I know how to move forward. But there's something stopping me. I feel resistance. I just can't get a grip. We have to assess. There's some learned behavior and thoughts and patterns that need to be unlearned in order for us to move forward. Like esteeming others more highly than we esteem ourselves. How is it that we can think everyone else, I mean, we all do it at one point in time in our lives. How is it that you can think everybody else is so amazing and so successful and on point and you're not? Really, attractive thinker? We have to unlearn that behavior and those thoughts and those beliefs because they're not true. Because just like you may be viewing others and esteeming them so highly above yourself, others are looking at you and doing the same thing. Can you imagine? Think about that, attractive thinker. So we want to assess what it is that we're believing. Sometimes, you know, you could be going through these processes. If you've been one of my clients or if you're in any of my programs and you go through these processes, after you start assessing your beliefs, when you hear yourself say certain things, you have to ask yourself, sometimes you have to laugh at yourself. Really? You're kidding me. Here's a tool, attractive thinker, and you want to write this down. You want to use this tool. When you pursue your visions, dreams, or goals, and you encounter an obstacle or challenge, or you hear that negative self-chatter, instead of hearing it, say it. If you hear it, say it. And once you hear yourself say it, you'll see how faulty it is. You'll see how untrue it is. And you'll know exactly what it is you need to unlearn in order to move forward in your life. Great day, attractive thinker Roz. It's good to have you here this evening. So attractive thinkers, write that down in your notebook. This is a powerful tool. As soon as you hear that negative thought, don't just hear it. See, that's something that we do, you know, as attractive thinkers. We might hear these negative thoughts and just don't do anything about them. We just let them, you know, just have space in our head, and they can go to the market with us, and they can go to the library with us, and they can go to the meeting with us, and they can go to dinner with us, and we don't do anything about it. We don't confront them. We don't say anything back. I talk back to my negative self-chatters. That is not true. Yep, Dr. Toni Hatton, the attractive thinker. I deal with negative self-chatter just like anybody else, and I talk back. You have to give it, if it has enough guts to give voice in your head, give it voice back. Denounce it, decline it, you know, cancel it. Don't let those negative thoughts run rampant in your head and take up space and go with you throughout your day. Oh, thank you, attractive thinker Roz. I appreciate that comment. We cannot allow these negative thoughts to run rampant in our heads because they will take over. And what you think, you believe, and you act on, and those are the results that you get. And then we wonder why our results don't reflect what we really wanted. You're like, I got a result, but it wasn't what I wanted. What happened? We have to unlearn some things, those faulty beliefs, that negative self-chatter, those obstacles, those negative thoughts that we let run rampant in our head and we didn't confront them. Confront, assess, unlearn, and move on. This is how we get results in our lives, attractive thinker. You know, I remember before I started really getting into this work and, supporting attractive thinkers and changing their lives and really reaching their goals and showing them that their can'ts can be cans, showing them that the things that they doubted would ever happen in their lives, showing them how that can really take place in their lives and actually helping them see the manifestation of that. Not just showing them that it can happen, but actually seeing them bring about these results in their lives through the mindset work that we do together and the powerful life-altering tools. See, we have attractive thinker tools that help you uproot faulty beliefs. Faulty beliefs are rooted, deeply rooted in the thinking and in the mindset. It's not, it's not something you can say, yes, I can, or I'm great, or you know what, I'm not going to do this and I'm going to do that, or I'm going to write my book. It's not that easy. The mind has to be programmed in that direction. That's how we can hear good information and struggle to implement, because we have implanted that information deeply in our belief system. See, we're operating daily off of our beliefs. Whatever it is that you believe, that's exactly what you're doing every single day. Think about that, attractive thinker. Great day, attractive thinker Carl. It's so good to have you here this evening. We're operating totally out of our belief system. And if we want to know what it is that we're believing, look at the results that we're getting. They're congruent. It's a perfect match. It's impossible to believe abundantly and experience lack. It's impossible to believe lack and experience abundance. We get what we believe. Have you ever heard the phrase, you don't get what you want, you get what you are? Think about that for a moment. You might want to write that down in your attractive thinker notebook. You don't get what you want, what you desire, you get what you are. It's just like, the phrase, you don't see, let's see, how can I put this? You don't see life the way life is unfolding. You see life through who you are. You see life through your own eyes. You see life through your perception. Because see, we're all experiencing life, right? But we're all getting different results based on how we're viewing life. Think about that. We get who we are. We get how we see it. Your perception is your reality. You and I could be looking at the same picture, the same image. We could be experiencing the same thing. But how we perceive it determines the result that we get from it. That's how two people can experience the same situation and you come out with two different outcomes because of the way they saw it. Two different visions. Think about that, attractive thinker. Vision is a powerful, powerful thing. How you see a thing determines everything. How you see it. So the question is, how do you see what you see? And if you're in our attractive thinker group, if you're on my email list, you may have viewed some of my videos. I just did 2 videos on how do you see what you see, a part 1 and part 2. You might want to go back and look at those. Great day, attractive thinker Cherie. It's so good to see you here. Awesome. Carl says that. Thank you so much, Carl. It's so good to see you here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Attractive thinkers, we're talking about unlearning being more powerful than learning. And as attractive thinkers, we're lifetime learners. We're always learning new information because, if you're like me, and I'm sure you are because we're in this community together, I'm a truth seeker. I want to know more. I want to know the truth. I'm ever learning because there's a greater version of you, attractive thinker Carl, and attractive thinker Cherie, and attractive thinker Roz, and I see attractive thinker Kristen. There's a greater version of you in there. And it's your responsibility to unleash that. Nobody can do that but you. That's our assignment. You say it to yourself, write it down in your attractive thinker notebook. There is a greater version of me, and it's my responsibility. I used to tell attractive thinkers, there's nobody coming to knock on your door and hand you a life. Have you ever seen that? And if you have, post it here because I want to know about that story. You ever had somebody knock on your door, say, I have a package for attractive thinker Roz. Here's your life, all packaged nice and pretty. No struggles, no obstacles, no challenges. You don't have to do anything. God has favored you, and this is your life. I've never heard anyone say that. I've never had that happen. I know nobody has ever said that to me. So it's our responsibility to take the gifts that we've been given to discover ourselves. This is what the work that we do in the Attractive Thinker private and group coaching programs, through self-assessment, self-awareness, and self-development, really discover the treasure that is within. Everybody has a treasure within, and it's our responsibility to sit ourselves down and discover who we truly are. Think about that. And there are so many levels of greatness in you, attractive thinker. You won't even be able to discover all of it within your lifetime. But I've purposed in my heart, I want to discover as much about my greatness as I can while I'm here. And every time you release another level of your greatness, there's more. There's more. You never stop. You're endless. There's no end to you. That's how you can get one idea, and before you know it, another idea comes. Where are they coming from? They're coming from inside of you. But you have to create that space. You have to decide. You have to be determined to unlearn everything that is not in alignment with where you're going in your life. And you have to be relentless about that. You have to be serious about that. You have to be courageous, and you have to be passionate, and you have to have a made-up mind. A made-up mind means there are no other options. This is non-negotiable. It's not up for discussion. This is what I'm going to do with my life. This is the direction that I'm taking for my life. This is the path. We all have been on a journey, and if you've been following me on social media and you're a part of the Attractive Thinker movement, you see me post positive thoughts, mindset shift, mental shifts every single day. And recently this week I posted about it's not the goal so much. We all have goals, and this is what I believe. I believe that the journey is far more richer and grander and purposeful and fulfilling than the goal. The goal is just designed to pull you through to your greatness. Because when you reach the goal, it's not about the goal, it's about who you become. You are a totally different person when you reach your goal than when you're pursuing it. You are a totally different person. And the purpose of the goal was for you to become different, was for you to become greater. See, the goal is, the mind needs something to be working on that pulls us through life. If we didn't have a goal, where is the fuel coming from? Where's the fire? Where's the passion? What is there to help us to get up and move and do something? That's what goals do. So I'm not saying don't pursue the goal. I'm not saying that the goal isn't important. But understand, you are transforming while you're pursuing that goal. You're opening doors and closing doors, allowing people into your life and removing people from your life, opening windows and closing windows, changing and expanding and growing and decluttering and losing weight and changing your wardrobe and changing your talk and changing your circle and changing your mind. By the time you reach that goal, you are unrecognizable, attractive thinker. You are unrecognizable. Thank you, attractive thinker Cherie. Everything starts in the mind. Yes, it does. And when we think about that, if we really believe that everything starts in the mind, we will guard our minds with everything that we have. We'd be careful to be around. We wouldn't allow negativity in our circle, because think about that. Attractive thinker Cherie says everything starts in the mind. Think about that, attractive thinker. Write that down in your attractive thinker notebook. Do you really believe that? That's not a cliche. She didn't just post that because it was cool to say. That is true. If everything starts in your mind, That means every goal that you have starts in your mind. Every aspiration that you have starts in your mind. Everything you want to do with your life starts in your mind. Your purpose starts in your mind. Your dream starts in your mind. Your abundance starts in your mind. Your meaning and your fulfillment starts in your mind. The legacy that you're creating, living, and leaving starts in your mind. Losing weight starts in your mind. Developing real relationships starts in your mind. Better managing your money so you can grow your finances starts in your mind. Your health starts in your mind. Everything. Whatever it is, what do you have to do today? What's on your to-do list? You know, I know today is not over, and then tomorrow, what's on your to-do list? Every single thing that's on your to-do list starts in your mind. Every action we make starts from a thought. And you're absolutely right, attractive thinker Cherie. You're absolutely right. Think about that, attractive thinker, a thought. Something as subtle as a thought. Something that's not even seen, it's not even visible. That means everything starts in the invisible. And where did we go to learn that? They didn't have invisible school, you know, master the invisible. They didn't have mindset school. They didn't teach that in school, you know. So we have to invest in ourselves to get that if we really want to grow. If we really want to know who we truly are. Where do they teach this stuff? Go master yourself, you know. Come over here so I can help you release another level of your greatness, a greater version of you, attractive thinker. Where do they teach that? You know where you get that from, attractive thinker, where you can really develop that? When you sit down and go deep within your soul. And you pay attention to your heart, and you give your heart a voice. You allow the voice of your heart to speak. You honor your heart's voice by sitting down and writing out your plan and writing out your thoughts. Think about that. That's how you give your voice, your heart, an opportunity to speak. That's how you get in touch with your greatness. It starts with you. You don't have to go pay somebody to find out who you are. Yes, we need coaches because there are certain things that we cannot do by ourselves. Like I said earlier, you can't see yourself because you're in the frame. You can't see your picture if you're in the frame, right? So this is why, I'm going to tell you something about that. I was having a conversation with my 16-year-old son, and I was on my way to taking him to work, and we were just talking. And he said, Mom, you know, that's why it's important to have a powerful circle of influence, a positive circle of influence, because they have vision and they can look into what you're doing, into your life, because you can't see yourself. You can't see the accomplishments you're making. That's why it's important to have a positive circle of influence around you, because they are a reflection. They're your mirror. They get to see you and help you shift a little bit. Like, keep moving, attractive thinker Roz, but step to the left a little bit. Keep going in that direction, attractive thinker Carl, but duck down low and squat a little bit and then hold it. Stay right there for 10 seconds and then do it again. Keep moving forward, attractive thinker Cherie, but this time I want you to take 3 steps to the left. This time I want you to, instead of walking, I want you to jump and leap. See, when we don't have a positive circle of influence in our lives, it's just like a blind spot. You don't know whether you're making progress or not, you know? Think about being in a car and you're trying to get into this tight parking space and you don't want to hit the car in front of you and the car behind you especially. So somebody in the car with you gets out and they say, come on back. No, stop. Okay, cut it to the right. Okay, hold it. Okay, move. Okay, come back some more. Okay, you got enough room. Keep coming. Okay, hold it. You can't see that if you're in the car, right? And those are the blind spots we experience in life. Think about that. Attractive thinker Cherie says, and help make our thoughts become reality. Absolutely. Coaches help us align our thoughts. Absolutely. Because we didn't get this coming up and because we didn't get this in school, welcome attractive thinker Charlotte. It's good to have you here this evening. Because we didn't get this in school, we have to invest in, see, you're not going to invest in yourself if you don't value yourself. Think about that. Because we didn't get this in school, you have to invest in yourself to get it now as an adult. Think about that. It's our response. Listen, attractive thinker, really? Who do you know cares about your dream like you do? Who do you know? Now we're surrounded by loved ones and friends and our chummies and all of that, but nobody really cares like you care about you accomplishing your assignment in the earth. They don't have that at stake like you do, because it's your soul, attractive thinker. It's your spirit. Nobody knows what's down inside of your spirit but you. Nobody knows the longing in your soul but you. Some people may know your journey and your walk and your story, but they don't really know the path you took to get to where you are, right? And they don't know the lessons that you've learned along the way. Think about that. That's why only you can tell your story. That's why only you can fulfill your dream. Because you might see somebody out there doing something that you would like to do, but they cannot do it like you, attractive thinker, because they are not you. Think about that. Your personality is different. The way you walk through your journey is different. The way you saw your journey is different. The way you perceived it, the way you processed it, how you believed, the tools you use to get through your journey. All of that's different. Think about that, attractive thinker. That's why only you can tell your story. Only you, attractive thinker, and you're responsible for that. That's your life's work, attractive thinker. And nobody can do it but you. It is crucial that we unlearn the things, the faulty beliefs that are holding us back, because they are suppressing the greater version of ourselves. And we need support in doing that. Since we didn't get it in school, now we have to invest in ourselves, like attractive thinker Cherie said, with coaches and resources and workshops and seminars and tools, audio programs, video programs, mentors. You have to have these tools in place in order to manifest who you truly are, because come on, without a coach, you're not going to push yourself. Think about that. When you don't feel like doing something, you're like, you know what, I'm tired. And we give ourselves excuse. We go down the list. I did this, I did that, I did the other. I don't feel like it, I deserve this. And it's funny how we say we deserve something when it's time for us to procrastinate and put our dream on hold. But when it comes down for us to talk about we deserve abundance, we deserve to be free, we deserve to be healthy, we deserve to be wealthy, we doubt that. Isn't that something? Think about that, attractive thinker. Attractive thinker Cherie says, just like no one puts fuel in your vehicle for it to run, no one will fuel your dream like you will keep it, like you will to keep it up and running. Absolutely. Nobody's going to gas it up but you, attractive thinker. They're not going to do it like you. They may give you a nickel's worth full of gas. That's not enough. You need a full tank. This dream is real. This is all that we have. Everybody's been given a dream, whether we recognize it or not, whether we believe it or not, it is in there. Nobody came here empty-handed. Everybody has a purpose. Think about that. And everybody has something to accomplish. Everybody has a place in this world. Everybody has a part to contribute. If you're still here and you're breathing, you're a part of the whole. You're a part of the plan. And we need what you have to offer. Think about that, attractive thinker. There are no excuses and no exemptions, no castaways. Nobody's, worthless or invaluable or, don't have value or worth or meaning or anything to contribute. Everybody matters. Everybody is a part of what we're experiencing right now in this world. Everybody is a part of that experience. You know why I say that? Because as soon as we lose one, everybody feels it. As soon as somebody drops the bomb, as soon as somebody leaves here, as soon as somebody gets hurt, or as soon as somebody's life is on the line, everybody feels it. That's how important everybody is, each and every one of us. So we all are responsible for our own contribution attractive thinker. And it is crucial that we unlearn these things that are holding us back. I'm gonna share something with you. I have been, and I'm sure you have too, I have been to several funerals. I attended another one today. And you can learn something from that about your life. It's life altering, you know. And, you know, they hand out obituaries at funerals, and you get to read the life story of the person, you know, who's moved on. And it compels you to continue to write your story. You know, attractive thinker, you've been through enough. You've been processed enough. You know enough. You're more aware, and you're more conscious, and you're more confident. You have more clarity. You know more about yourself and about life. You understand now. There's nothing holding you back. You understand now that if you feel like you're at a roadblock or you hit an obstacle or challenge, that it's just something that you don't know, and you go and learn that and you keep moving forward. Or you get an attractive thinker tool to uproot something that you're believing that is not true. We call that a faulty belief, those things that we need to unlearn. And you uproot that so that you can move forward. Why do you uproot that? Because you can't afford to have anything stop you from creating, living, and leaving your legacy. Nobody's going to do that for you, like you, but you. Right? So we have to unlearn. It's costing us too much. These learned faulty beliefs are costing us too much in our lives. They're holding our thoughts back, holding our joy back, holding our happiness back, holding our meaning and fulfillment back, holding our abundance back, holding our joy back. Think about that. Keeping you stressed and frustrated and, you know, doubting yourself. As great as you are, you enter seasons or periods and moments in your life where you begin to doubt your worth. Something, a faulty belief, something, negative self-chatter, something, an experience, you know, some trauma or something that we're holding on to that we need to let go of is causing us to feel this way about our great selves. And you hear the word that I use, costing us. We pay a price for thinking the wrong thing. We pay a price for believing the wrong thing. We pay a price for not managing our mindset. There is a cost. Attractive thinker. There is a price to pay for not managing the mindset, for not keeping the mind aligned with the truth of who we are, for not keeping the mind aligned with our worth. There is a price to pay for that. So we want to make sure that we unlearn, sit ourselves down and unlearn the things that are holding us back, those faulty beliefs. Attractive thinker Ross says, thank you. I will take your good advice. Awesome, 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 attractive thinker. I like that. Implementation is key. You know, when we talk about unlearning the things that, you know, are holding us back, and unlearning being more powerful than learning. Unlearning, we're talking about internally. Learning, I'm talking about externally. We get when we talk about learning, we're getting external knowledge, right? Great day, attractive thinker Trina. Welcome to your clarity experience. So glad to have you here this evening. When we talk about learning, we're talking about external information and resources that we're gathering to support us in, you know, being our greater selves. But when we talk about unlearning, that means you got to go inside. You got to go inside and assess. So one of the things that sometimes we encounter in our seasons is I don't deserve. Think about that. And we need to unlearn that. We really need to unlearn that because it does not serve us. It does not. Think about this, attractive thinker. You're watching this video right now. You're listening to this message, and I'm seeing live feed. I'm seeing live comments going up and down this page. This is our moment. This is our defining moment. We're alive. We're the living. We're breathing. We're moving. We're experiencing life. And this is our time. And we want to maximize that. We want to live full lives. because we can, because we've been given this opportunity. Think about that. And we want to honor that, and we want to value that. And we don't want to waste that. We don't want to take it for granted because we've been here so long that we're going to be here forever. That's not the case, attractive thinker. This is a great, you hear me say this all of the time, and I mean that. And I post this on my social media sites and in my greetings. I answer the phone this way. Great day, attractive thinker. It is a great day to be alive. It really is. Say that with me. Somebody post that in the comments section. It is a great day to be alive. Because we have an opportunity to create, live, and leave. You don't want to create a legacy and leave it. You want to live it, right? You want to create it, live it, and leave it, right? You want to enjoy the fruit of your labor. So it is critical for us to unlearn the things that are holding us back. Unlearn these faulty beliefs and these lies that have become our truth so that we can move forward in our lives. Because it's possible, attractive thinker, to physically say it and consciously, we physically say it, consciously believe it, but subconsciously, we don't believe these things. We don't believe our visions, dreams, and goals can come to pass subconsciously. And that's the unlearning part. We got to deal with that. It's not okay, right? Settling for lack. We got to unlearn that. Settling for less than, not enough, and unfulfillment. Because see, here's some of the things we say. And remember I said earlier, this is subtle. These things happen subtly. And for example, not getting your heart's desire and saying, well, okay, whatever. That's the first thing you say, whatever. If you're used to not having your needs met, you say, whatever. You say, oh, well, or it's okay. It's not okay, attractive thinker. You're so worthy. You're just as worthy as the people you admire. Think about that. You are so worthy. It's not okay for you not to have your needs met. It's not okay for you not to have a piece of the pie or the whole pie. Don't reach for the broken cookie. Get the whole cookie. You deserve the whole cookie. Come on, attractive thinker. Just like you would prefer great things for others, aren't you an other? I say this to attractive thinkers sometimes, just like that person you see standing on the corner and you can be driving sometimes, or you might whisper a prayer for them or ask God to bless them. Or one of the things I do when I see people on the side of the road and their car broke down and their hood is up, I said, God, I thank you for blessing them with a brand new car, because they deserve that. Nobody deserves to be broken down on the side of the road with their hood up and they have somewhere to go. Or they have to thumb a ride or catch a cab or call for the bus. Nobody deserves that. Everybody deserves an experience of living in driving in a brand new car with no worries and the security of getting from point A to point B. Everybody deserves that. So if you can look at somebody else and say that they deserve that, what about you? You're that somebody else to somebody else. Don't you think you deserve that too? Think about that, attractive thinker. That goes back to those things that we need to unlearn and stop putting ourselves last and putting everybody else first, right? What about how you see your vision, your dream, and your goal? The way you're pursuing it. Do you see it as a struggle? Do you see it as something that's going to cause you pain when you go to pursue? Because see, that can cause procrastination. Sometimes we wonder why we procrastinate. It's because the thing we're moving towards, we're not viewing it as valuable. We're viewing it as something that's going to hurt us, or when I get there, I'm going to struggle. Your brain is not going to support you in moving towards anything that's going to cause you pain or frustration or suffering. So if you're viewing it as suffering, your brain like, we ain't doing that. You can say you're doing it all you want, but we ain't doing that. We're not moving there. We're not going there. We're not going to pursue that. We're not going to live there, drive there, move there, operate a business there. We're not going to do that. because your brain is designed to keep you safe. And if you're moving towards something that's not safe, all your bells and whistles are going off. Your stress level is rising. Your cortisol is being released. Right, attractive thinker Cherie, the stress manager? Your brain is not going to move towards anything that's going to stress you out. Think about that. So we have to make sure we're viewing these dreams and goals that we're pursuing with the right perception. Think about that. Unlearning, not writing things down, thinking we can hold things in our head. We got to unlearn that behavior, because that's self-sabotage. You know, pen and paper is a gateway between the invisible and the visible. And when you write your plans down and your visions, dreams, and goals, you give them access to be accomplished, to be created in the world. Because as long as you're thinking them, think about that, thoughts are invisible. As long as you're thinking them, they stay invisible. But when you write them down, now they've entered into the physical realm, and you've given them access and permission to be manifested and accomplished in your life. So you want to write that down in your Attractive Thinker notebook. You have to unlearn that thing that we do when you're always saying, oh, I got this. Oh, no, I ain't write that down. I don't need a plan. I got it in my head. I can remember it. Really? It's going to stay invisible until you give it physical reality with a paper and a pen. Right, attractive thinker? Unlearning, getting unstuck and getting support and creating an amazing life. I want you to think about this for a minute, attractive thinker. Unlearning is more important than learning. You are valuable. And there are some things that, you know, once we hit certain stages and seasons in our lives, we realize we can't go any further. There's some things that we need to do. We need to ask ourselves, am I supported? Do I have a coach? Do I have a vision and mindset expert? Somebody who can help me see? Because I'm not just a coach. I am a vision expert. I help you to see. You have to be able to see. You're not going to move towards something that you don't see. And if the light is not on, you're trying to reach your goals in the dark. And even if the area is familiar, the environment is familiar, if it's dark, you're going to stumble. If it's dark, you're going to hurt yourself. You're going to fall. You're going to trip. And if it's dark, it's going to take you more time, and you're going to, you know, stub your toe, so to speak. You're going to run into some obstacles and some unnecessary things. Whereas if you have a vision expert in your life who can shine the light and light up your path, you can pick up your speed, like Attractive Thinker says, use that fuel to move you forward faster and accomplish your visions, dreams, and your goals, right? So we want to, I'm sure you've taken notes in your Attractive Thinker notebook. Don't just take notes, Attractive Thinker. You know, review them, use them, you know, refer to them, dissect them. See, you being here with me tonight, and I so celebrate each and every attractive thinker who took time out of your busy schedule just to stop by and get some, you know, vision tools and some resources to help you, you know, further along on your journey, and to shine the light so you can see more clear, you know, so you can step out of that fog and step into clarity so you can move forward in your life. So I celebrate you for sharing space and time with us this evening. I want to invite you, if this message has resonated with you and you felt it on a deeper level and you felt fed and fulfilled, you know, great day, attractive thinker Janika. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us. If you felt like this was something that you really needed and I shined the light on some things for you, I want you to consider having consistent support from a vision and mindset expert and a positive circle of attractive thinkers. You know, I host the Master Your Mind live experience every last Thursday of the month. And it's an opportunity for attractive thinkers to come together and work on their dreams and goals and get some clarity, direction, and next steps. It's a catered event. So like I said earlier in our message tonight, your health is your greatest wealth. So we have a private chef, you know, showing you how to use your food to support your dreams and goals. Done. You know, gone are the days of eating and not having enough energy to work on your dreams and your goals, not having enough energy to move forward in your life, and still struggling with the same 40 pounds, or struggling with dehydration, foggy thinking and things like that. You need clarity if you're going to accomplish your life's work in the earth. Your health is your greatest wealth. So we have a private chef. We don't serve junk food, corn curls and Doritos and popcorn and Pepsi and all of that. That junk food does not support an attractive mind. It does not support a strong mind. It doesn't foster mental healing, mental strength, and mindset maintenance. Think about that. So, think about this live event as an opportunity for you to come and get some clarity and refuel and collaborate with your fellow attractive thinkers. Think about it as a rich environment, an environment where dreams grow. See, everything can't grow in every environment. Environment produces a set of conditions. If the conditions are right, things grow. If the conditions are not right, they cannot grow. Every environment produces something. Every environment has a set of conditions that produces something. That's why it's important, like I said earlier, to have a positive circle of influence in your life. Be around visionaries so that they can see into what you're doing and give you direction, some subtle shifts that help you move further along down your journey and on your path. So once a month we come together. I'm teaching on some powerful topics, sharing some life-altering attractive thinker tools to help. See, you need tools to uproot faulty beliefs. You can't just quote them and tote them and think them and woo them away. It doesn't happen that way. You need tools. There are certain tools that you need to uproot certain beliefs. Certain tools only work on certain beliefs, not all the beliefs. When we talk about certain tools and an individualized approach, you're talking about private coaching. That's what customized tools. I use customized tools for my private clients because all tools don't work for everything. You can't get a nail out of the wall with a Phillips screwdriver. Think about that. You could try. You'll hurt your hand. You'll exert more energy than you should. You'll damage the wall. You'll make a hot mess. And that's what we do in our lives, trying to fix ourselves with the wrong tools. Think about that, attractive thinker. So once a month we come together, but I don't leave you out there just coming together once a month and all the rest of the 30 days of the month you're just out there by yourself. We have a private online forum where we collaborate. I do live streams in the forum, periodically to stay in touch with you. Find out where your mind is. What are you doing? Are you hitting a roadblock? Did your mind stop supporting you and moving forward? Or are you okay? Are you still, making progress? Because time is all that we have to make progress. And it's an investment. You definitely want to invest in yourself to be in the right space, in an environment where dreams grow. Think about that. Okay. So if you're still here, could one of the attractive thinkers post in the feed? Thank you so much, attractive thinker Janika. You are awesome as well. If one of the attractive thinkers could post in the feed the website where you can register now. The registration is $45 a month. Like I said earlier, we didn't learn this in school, so we have to invest in ourselves. $45 to change your life, $45 a month to change your life. When you change your mind, like attractive thinker Cherie said, everything starts with a thought. Everything starts in your mind. When you change your mind, you change your life. $45 a month to change your life? Think about that, attractive thinker. So, I want you to visit the website, www.masteryourmindlive.theattractivethinker.guru. masteryourmindlive.theattractivethinker.guru. If someone could post that in the comments section for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Go to the website and register. It's $45 a month. After Sunday at midnight, if you're on my email list, you saw me post about this before, and I'm going to extend it. The deadline was February 1st, which was yesterday. I'm going to extend it for all of the attractive thinkers here in our private Facebook group until Sunday night at 12 midnight. After Sunday night at 12 midnight, the monthly registration investment is going to be $97 a month. So you definitely want to get in on this. Get your food right. Get your mind right. Collaborate with other attractive thinkers. Grow your mind while growing your business. Grow your dreams. Create your legacy. All in an environment that's rich and conducive for your growth. And again, you have collaboration, online every single day in our private Facebook group, where I'll be there supporting you in being the best that you can be, attractive thinker. And if you're not local, this event takes place in Baltimore. If you're not in Baltimore or DC and in any of the surrounding areas, no worries, because I have I have clients all over the country, right? So I have a virtual mastermind. You want to visit www.mastermind.theattractivethinker.guru. www.mastermind.theattractivethinker.guru. And that's for all of the attractive thinkers who are out of state, so that you continue to get support as well. Attractive thinkers, I trust that you have received incredible value tonight, and I want to encourage you to be on our list so that you get the updates every first Thursday of the month, like today. 7:00 p.m. I'll be right here in the private Facebook group, teaching on mindset topics, breakthrough strategies, and sharing some powerful attractive thinker tools to support you in staying mentally strong, attractive thinker. You want to stay mentally strong so that you can continue to move about in your life, creating, living, and leaving that legacy that only you can do. Remember, we talked about that. Nobody can do this but you, right? So visit this website and stay on the email list so you can get the updates. I send out assignments in this email list. You might get an assignment tomorrow in your email in reference to this message right here. The website to register is for Your Clarity Experience. That's what our time together is called. Your Clarity Experience is www.visioncall.theattractivethinker.guru. visioncall.theattractivethinker.guru. And you can just register and put your email and your name, and that way you're on our list. And every first Thursday of the month, you'll get some instructions from me. It might be a worksheet to prepare. It might be a live stream right here in the private Facebook group, or it might be a vision call through the Attractive Thinker conference line. But either way, every first Thursday of the month at 7:00, we'll be together. Yeah, because the mind needs consistent maintenance. We'll be together, and I'll be supporting you, because my life's work, attractive thinker, is to make your life better. Remember, it is not what you're going through, it's how you're viewing it. Think attractively. I'll see you soon. Good night. Thank you for joining us, Attractive Thinker Janika, Attractive Thinker Trina, Attractive Thinker Cherie, and Attractive Thinker Roz, Attractive Thinker Kristen, Attractive Thinker Carl. Awesome. It's so good to see you here tonight. Make it a great evening, and I'll see you tomorrow in the forum.